Happy Monday. It's great to be in front of you today. Want to thank all of you again for participating and for sharing our messages with your friends and family and your doctors and health practitioners. I want to thank all of you who are in the medical field for your participation, for sharing the message, for getting it out to the public. It's growing. We've got some great things to share with you today. Good customer reviews. I want to talk briefly about one of our distributors, but somebody who is a mover in the industry, somebody who is really making a difference in the lives of a great many people. And I've had the privilege and the honor of being associated with them. And I'm real excited about them and the future that they're going to have in this industry. And that's Sally and Stephanie Smith, the trophy girls. And they really are. They're just in great condition. They've got a great program called I Jump Now, or Just Jump. Oh, gee, I forgot. What is it? I Jump Instead. I knew that. And they're phenomenal. They're great. They've got programs that you can follow along with. They're energetic. They were on a program the other day, and they, you know, when you're a parent of an industry, you look at the people that come into the industry kind of like your children, or you're just concerned about them. And as I was listening to them talk, I was thinking in my mind, oh, that's a great lead into this, or that would be good to talk about now. And I would think it, and they would do it. We were in sync. And I'm impressed and grateful. These are two women of integrity. They're beautiful. They're very effective. They've got a good program. They're welcome to call me, and they have many times, and we will continue to talk as we continue to grow in the industry. But they're a good program. One of the things we're going to be talking about tonight is diet a little bit, and we're also going to be talking about I want to answer some good questions, but I also want to talk a little bit about the difference between the Cellerciser and other units. And I feel like I need to do that because of questions and comments that seem to continue to come up. And I just want to clarify. The Cellerciser is unlike any other mini trampoline on the market. It uses tridaptable spring technology. I had a lady who called me up just a little while ago. Her name is Annette. She's getting a trifold Cellerciser. She's had her half fold for over 12 years. She's got 7 kids. She's going to write me a customer review. It didn't come in time tonight, so we'll share it for next time. But she was telling me about the benefits that she and her family, all shapes, all sizes, have had on their unit for the last 12 years. And her comment to me is, it looks brand new. Well, it should. We want the Cellerciser to last a lifetime, and we wanted to be able to pass on. Well, she's passing it on now to her nephew, and she's getting the professional trifold. What makes a difference? Larger diameter in the middle. It has a ridge before it tapers, and then another ridge where it tapers again. Those ridges help to focus the weight toward the center of the spring. So if you're lighter, you're not jumping as high, you're going to get all the support you need in that center of the spring. If you're jumping higher or you weigh more, then it graduates to the next ridge and the next tier. And when you have 36 of these all around the mat, it creates an incredible support mechanism that allows you to utilize that portion of the spring you need based upon your weight or how high you're jumping. Now, that being said, the Cellerciser is different than a unit, for example, that uses bungee cords. We have a lady who just has joined us, Lisa, welcome. She is, how do you explain it, turning in her bungee cord unit for a Cellerciser. And that's great. But I want you to approach it differently than the bungee cord. The Cellerciser has more resistance. That's why we build up muscle mass and bone densities, because of the resistance. We have the movement to create the G-forces and the pumping action through the body. If we didn't have the resistance, if it's too soft, then we're not building up the muscle mass and the bone density. Now, the Cellerciser, compared to softer units, you want to approach it gently. It is, again, more resistant. If you have weaknesses that may not have been exposed on a softer unit, they may be exposed on the Cellerciser. So we want to build them up. So start off and allow the internal organs and the connective tissues and the fascia and the skin and everything to adapt. And it may take a week to 3 weeks for those internal organs, connective tissues really firm up. And then you can start doing more aggressive movements. If you go at it too aggressively and you have more resistance and you have a weakness in the body, it may expose that. So let's talk about some of the comments. We had somebody call again today with regards to uterine and bladder issues in the sphincter muscle. Wanted to bring that up briefly because there's an advantage on the Cellerciser. Again, we have to have resistance. People have written me saying, how come I never had the same kind of resistance on a softer unit that I do on the Cellerciser? It was because you don't have, it's not designed. Other units aren't designed the way the Cellerciser is. The Cellerciser is designed for fitness, for increasing circulation, for improving balance and equilibrium, and is designed to help resist pronation of the feet and the ankles. If a unit, in fact, we have ours is 40 inches in diameter for a reason. The wider out you go, the less support you have in the middle. So we want to have it so that the feet are well supported on the unit. Now, we have a particular company, and I'm not here to disparage units. I really wrestle with myself on that. But I am here to defend ours because I know what this does. I know what it's done for me. I know what it's done for over 100,000 additional customers. So I'm going to defend it. There is a company out there that has been for many, many years disparaging the Cellerciser, saying that it's squeaky. Listen how squeaky it is. Squeak, squeak, squeak. We even had somebody call me up to say that one of the companies actually put lemon juice on both ends of each spring, put a little mic underneath it to make it sound really squeaky. They moved the mic a little further out and they jumped on their unit to make it appear very quiet. Well, that's not honest. This is a Cellerciser. It's just like those of you who have other Cellercisers. I want you to listen to it as I jump on up and down. So I get on the Cellerciser. I'm going to start just gently. You can hear how squeaky it is. It's not. Jump higher. You can hear me landing on it, but there is no squeak. How come? And how can they make it sound so squeaky? Well, anytime steel, good quality steel, rubs against steel, it can squeak. So what do? We put a drop of, I use 3-in-1 oil. I put a drop of oil, or 2 drops when it's unit's brand new, on both ends of each spring. As the steel rubs against steel and the oil, it polishes the steel. And over time, as it breaks in, it gets quieter and quieter and quieter. And that's, again, there's no difference. My unit's the same as your unit. So if you have questions on that, or if we can help, give me a call. I'm more than happy to do so. All right, so let's read some of the customer reviews. Oh, I was going to talk about uterine and bladder. All right, when you sit down on the Cellerciser, if you support your hips or your back with your hands and start to move up and down, you're working. The only reason I'm moving up and down has nothing to do with my hands. It's all being done right here in the core. This movement right here will build and strengthen this area. Sally and Stephanie talked about this on their program the other day. Brilliant. As we get stronger, we can lift up one leg. As we lift up the leg, we leverage the weight right here in the abdomen. When the leg is tired, lift up the other leg. As you get stronger still, you can lift up both legs and you can bounce a little higher. And that's all being done right there in the core. But by sitting back, you don't have the vertical movement on the bladder or the uterus. So as you're sitting back, but you're applying weight, those connective tissues from the inside out can start to tighten and tone and become stronger again. So, all right, hello, I turned 48 this year. I served in the military, so I did a lot of running. My knees, ankles, and feet are constantly bothering me, so now I do a lot of walking, especially with my dogs. On one of my walks a couple weeks ago, I picked up my neighbor's Pure Fun mini trampoline. I don't know why I did it, but I jumped on it for a couple of days. I started to YouTube about it, trampolines, and saw your videos. I was hesitant about spending so much on a kid trampoline, quote unquote, but the reviews were so positive, I figured I'd give it a shot. I needed an alternative to get back into shape and no longer can run. So I ordered the Cellerciser. All I can say is, wow, all capitalized. As soon as I step on it, I felt the difference immediately. It feels amazing, from the way it bounces to the feel of the material under my bare feet. When I bounce on the Cellerciser, it makes me want to keep on bouncing. My knees didn't hurt, nor my feet or ankles. I hope to get many years out of your product. Thanks, Jared. Thank you, Jared. You will. All right. Kristen writes, love it so much, cannot live without it, all capitals. Hello, Dave. Back in 2012, I bought my fabulous trifold Cellerciser, and it's transformed my life. And I've told others about its magical health and beauty effects. Nothing else works like the health bounce. This rebounder is the best of the best. And I am so pleased I bought this years ago, and it performs as brand new now, 9 years later. Now that's someone other than Annette. Thank you, all capitalized. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for creating this, and all the love to you and yours. Well, right back at you, Kristen. Thank you. Okay, we've had, my son came in earlier before we had the program. He says, Dad, you should let them know that instead of walking their dogs, they can put them on the Cellerciser and they're going to get all this benefit. And I thought, I'll mention it. But it is kind of interesting. There's a dog. Of course, the dog's not Cellercising. That's Chewy. Chewy is a big dog. But I had a ferret for years. And the ferret, when I would let it out of its cage, I had a wood floor. And if I got on the Cellerciser and started jumping up and down, the ferret knew it. It would come running across, sliding and slipping across the wood floor, jump up on the Cellerciser, jump up my leg a couple times, and then it would go and it would lay down on, right on the spring cover. And then when I was bouncing up and down, I don't know if you can see it or not, but as I was bouncing up and down, the weight of the ferret sitting on the spring cover, the ferret would just gently bounce up and down. Anytime it was on it, that ferret wanted to be on it as well. So, are there benefits to dogs and animals? I believe there are. The movement up and down is still stimulating, increasing circulation. It is still weight bearing. Mark writes, thank you for letting me join this group. Just received my Cellerciser a couple days ago, and I'm super excited to see what happens now rebounding on the best rebounder. I've been rebounding since January 24, 6 days a week for 60 minutes. Just recently moved up to 90 minutes a day for 6 days a week. I've lost 80 plus pounds and over 49 inches overall. Wow. Feel healthier at 60 years of age than 50 or 40. So keep bouncing. And Mark puts a little Tigger, which is cute. Okay. Lisa writes, my name is Elisa, and here's my experience so far with COVID-19 and the amazing trifold Cellerciser. Okay, that should be near and dear to many of us. I'm very overweight, much of it which happened when I suffered with long haulers COVID. I traveled full-time for my work, always flying 45 plus weeks per year. It had gotten to where I had to have wheelchair assistance for all my flights, as I would be so out of breath from even walking up the jet bridge to where I had to sit down for 10 minutes just to recover. I remember calling my husband from Salt Lake City one trip when it all started, and telling him I didn't know if I was going to make it. And I told him I don't mean whether I'm going to make it to my connection or not. I meant if I was going to live or not. I eventually contacted my sister. She's in South Carolina and I live in Oregon. She had, along with her naturopath and oncologist, researched for years and ended up curing herself of stage 4 non-smoker's lung cancer. The first thing she did was put me on a daily protocol of organic kale and pure organic pineapple juice. I started every morning with the filling up my NutriBullet with the kale, pouring the pineapple juice up to the line, blending and drinking the entire jar. Within 2 weeks, I knew I was well on my way to recovery. After a couple months of my kale routine and making significant progress, she then added a daily vitamin regimen, which I take with my kale concoction. After a couple months of that, she said I needed to start rebounding. I bought a less expensive rebounder off of Amazon, and I could literally not even jump bounce for 30 seconds as it was just I was too winded from that tiny little amount of time. Well, I kept at it, and slowly but surely, within a couple of months, I was up to 10,000 bounces per day, rebounding 3 to 5 times a day, 2,000 bounces per time. Then came my having to start traveling for work again, and I missed my rebounding. First, I point out these time frames because I can't tell you how many times over the decades I've tried to eat right, start a vitamin regimen, start a regular exercise program. I really do really well for the first week or two, and then I will miss a day, get back on track for a couple of days, and within 2 months it's all over. So my super smart sister knew this and let me master one step before she added another step. It has now been almost 6 months, and although I miss a day or two here and there, I always get back on track really, really quickly. I miss it too much. If I don't, I can relate to that. So I started researching rebounders that I could travel with. I researched for at least a month, and everything always brought me back to the Cellerciser as the best of the best. And then the real blessing, the trifold Cellerciser. My prayers were answered. I ordered it just days before my weekly travel started back in earnest. And it came in just days, and the rest is history. I travel with this beauty every single week and use it every single day. When I get home, I open it back up and I use it the 2 days that I'm at home. The first time I traveled with it, I admit that I was a bit worried about being able to get it put together and then break it down and pack it up again. Traveling like I do, I have a routine, and adding extra time to that routine is always a challenge. Well, the first time I put it together, it took me a few minutes, and the same time when I broke it down and packed it in its case. But I did it. Now it's nothing whatsoever. I pop it together as well in less than a minute, and the same thing for breaking it down and popping it back into its case. It literally folds up itself once you fold it in half. I lay it face down, fold the legs, stand on one side of it, and pull the other side back on itself. It is truly so easy after a few times of practice. Lastly, I have some questions today that I had been grappling with for a few weeks. When I arrived at my hotel, I sat in the parking lot and called the number for Cellercise. Hearing and seeing David on so many YouTube videos, I knew exactly who it was when he answered. I was in awe. But I also wasn't surprised after the tons of comments that I read about how he would answer or get on the phone when so many of you had called. I didn't want to waste his valuable time, but in true David fashion, he made me slow down, asked how I was doing, and got to know me before letting me ask my questions. It was so pleasant and so personal. He answered my questions, shared personal stories of his use of the Cellerciser, and gave me some suggestions for my program that I'll be adding here in just a few minutes when I finish this message. I thank David not only for myself, but for how he has so positively impacted and helped the lives of so many of us. I will never be without my Cellerciser. It is quite truly as important to me as the air I breathe. Breathe. Keep on Cellercising. That was beautiful. And thank you. And that's what we want to do. We want to make a difference in your lives. So if you have questions, please write some questions, share them with us. I'm going to go through some of the questions, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about diet and what I've done, because people ask me all the time, what's my diet like? So we'll talk about it. Okay. Does walking on the Cellerciser have the same effect as bouncing? Thank you for the awesome info on these videos. And thank you all for your support. I'm grateful for what this has done for me. I'm grateful to be able to share it with all of you, and I'm grateful that all of you are sharing it with so many other people. We keep spreading it, and it's a privilege and an honor for me. So I'm here to support you. So if you have questions, if you have comments, if you have frustrations, share them. Let's get through it. We're together. We're not individual. I mean, we're united. Okay, so walking. No, it's different. When you walk on the Cellerciser, you're not really weightless. You don't have the jarring effect of walking. You can focus the effect on the thighs and the knees, and that's all great. Nothing wrong with this. This is going to build up and strengthen the supporting muscles and ligaments around the knee. It's great. It's not the same as bouncing. When you're moving up and down, as you lift the heels up and down, for example, you're working the calf muscle, you're pumping with the heart. The movement up and down makes you weightless for a moment at the top of the bounce before you come back down. So as we're moving up and down and we're weightless, we take the stress or tension off of the skeletal system, the nervous system, the circulatory system. We're just weightless. That's where energy, circulation, those who study chi, they talk about chi. That's where the chi energy can flow right through the body without the blockages or the restriction, because you're weightless. So as we're moving up and down, we have an added benefit that works through the entire body, collectively, from the top of your head all the way down to the bottom of your feet. When we're walking, it has its benefits, but those are different. They're going to be more focused on those muscles that are doing the work, and the ligaments and tendons. So, recent breast cancer patient here, double mastectomy, was a week ago. I had 2 lymph nodes taken, which puts me in danger of developing lymphedema. I asked my surgeon about rebounding to help with lymph movement when I am healed, and she more or less thinks it would not help move lymph in my arm. I've had a Cellerciser for over 6 years and love it, and I'm also doubting her opinion. Of course, I will not do anything strenuous until I am healed, but in the surgeon's opinion, the only lymph fluid that would move would be in my legs, not my arms. Just wondering if any others have had the same situation and what your results were. Thank you. So there's an appeal to everybody who's in the Cellercise family. Feel free to share your personal experiences on it. But I'd like to talk a little bit about the lymphatic system, because that's what keeps us alive and healthy. We want, and for many of us, it's allergy season, and we get on that Cellerciser, we move up and down, we stimulate the lymphatic system, we get the circulation going, we clear the head and the congestion. But it's not just, the lymphatic system is not like your cardiopulmonary circulatory system. Although it works throughout the entire body as branches, similar to this, it's more of an open circuit, kind of like the branches of an oak tree. As you create movement, you create pressure changes. The lymphatic system holds a negative pressure, so you start to move up and down. Millions of one-way valves, doesn't matter whether they're here, or they start sucking. And after a few minutes of the movement up and down and the sucking of those lymphatic channels or valves that are pulling that circulation in, we create a circuit of movement through the whole body. So even if parts of the lymphatic system have been compromised, remember there are all these branches that are out there that are connected to the lymph system that start sucking. And although having lymph nodes taken out and the lymphatic system compromised some, we still have millions of one-way valves in the lymph system all throughout the body that we can still help activate. Pumping our arms when it's appropriate. Pumping the arms up and down. Create pressure changes. That movement, those pressure changes, create suction. And that's what helps pull that circulation through the body. So, but love to have some other people share. So I have a small break in my left leg. Yeah, picture that. Do you have a picture of that, Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't see the picture, but I can comment on it irrespective. It says, I have a small break in my left leg. It's 2 weeks old now. I wanted to get David's opinion as to using the Cellerciser. I have a removable cast. First of all, I apologize, but I'm not qualified to answer that. That has to be, and I don't know your medical situation. It needs to go through a doctor. But please ask your doctor, because one of the things the Cellerciser does is it helps to support osteoblastic activity, especially in weak areas, because of the resistance that we get to build up bone density and to expedite the healing process. That's the idea behind the walking cast. Well, for on a Cellerciser, one of the things that I did when I've broken both my ankles 2 places, not on the Cellerciser, but holding it over the side and gently moving up and down. And again, I don't know your situation, consult with your doctor, but that movement up and down promotes circulation and a gentle G-force. Gentle, not a jarring effect, a G-force. The G-forces are measured at the cellular level, just as if you were resisting more gravity. So 1911, Albert Einstein explained to the world through his theory of special relativity that the body cannot tell the difference between the forces of acceleration, deceleration, and gravity. It's all weight. So as we're gently moving up and down, we're putting weight as we decelerate. We're putting weight as we accelerate. See why Cellercise is so efficient? If we get the resistance, and you're doing this over 100 times a minute, I mean, that's a lot. That's why it works all throughout the body. But that movement up and down can help improve overall body healing, body performance, reduce inflammation, increase circulation, promote faster healing. It's all in that Cellerciser. I firmly believe that every morning when we get on the Cellerciser, that I get on the Cellerciser and I start to move up and down, I'm priming my body for the day. I'm not going to be, in my mind at least, I'm not going to be as effective in my day if I don't get on the Cellerciser and move up and down, because it increases that oxygen blood flow to the brain. It activates the lymph system, it moves the fluid, it stimulates the thyroid, the adrenals, the endocrine system. Everything is working collectively together. And when I'm working collectively together, I feel better, I perform better, and I've had better results. So that's how important I believe Cellercise is for all of us. Brooklyn, do we have any questions? No questions have come in. Okay. All right, let's talk just briefly about diet. People say, you must have I don't follow a diet per se. It's more of what I don't eat and when I eat than anything else. When I was growing up, they used to call me Mr. Burrito Man. That was a nickname, because everywhere I went, I was always putting things in a burrito. I had all kinds of beans. I'd have black beans, I'd have pinto beans, I'd have garbanzo beans, lentils. I would put them in a tortilla. So a lot of starches, and I put potatoes in there, and I could live that way. I mean, to me, that's great. I don't eat a lot of sweets, but last night I had peach pie and a couple scoops of yogurt ice cream, and if I feel that I had too much, I get on the Cellerciser. I don't eat. I eat chips and salsa, and I Cellercise, and maybe I can improve upon my diet. I get that. I tried a vegetarian diet when I was about 19 years old. I went from 175 down to 129 pounds. Couldn't do it. Works for other people. I love the people, and I respect the people that do a live plant-based diet. For whatever reason, I was headed the wrong direction. I had to start supplementing my diet with some meat. So I'll eat chicken or fish. I don't eat steak or pork. I haven't for over 40 years. So, but I ate enough prior to that to make up for it. It's more of what I don't eat. I don't eat a lot of pizza anymore or cheese. I did for years. I try to work at supplementing my diet as much as I can with live foods. The dead processed foods are okay, but it's harder for the body to digest that. I don't eat a big meal generally after 6 o'clock at night. You know, if you're going to eat a big meal, eat it earlier. Otherwise, keep it to a smaller meal. When you eat a meal, your body has one of two options. As it goes through the system, it's either going to store it or it's going to burn it. I'm not doing much at night other than sitting around, maybe relaxing, going to bed, so it's not going to burn it. If you eat a big meal with a lot of calories, it's going to store it. If you wake up in the morning and you eat a big meal, you're going to be running on that fuel during the day. So my philosophy, which is similar to many other people's philosophies, is you eat like a king or a queen in the morning, you eat like a prince or a princess in the afternoon, and you eat like a pauper in the evening. And I think that has served me well. So the other thing is if you can, I used to do the fruit drinks. I used to have fruit juices, and I'd take part of a frozen can of fruit juice, stick it in a blender, and put ice cubes and bananas and lots of different fruits, and it was too much sugar, but I didn't know that for many years. And so I backed off of that and then started doing the green drinks. And I think philosophically, and these are just principles that I live by, you don't know what your cells need to maintain the structure, integrity, and functioning of your body. But the cells know. And since we're in a partnership relationship with our body, and how we provide for it today has a lot to do with how it's going to provide for us tomorrow, let's turn the menu over to the cells every day and let them choose what they want. Since we don't know what it is, give them a salad bar of nutrients. If you have a good green drink and you put in some live greens as well with it, that's a salad bar of nutrients. And those nutrients are what the body is going to utilize to maintain the integrity and the structure of the body. So I'm all for having a good green drink. Am I going to make a recommendation? Not now. There are a lot of good ones out there. There are a lot of them that are different. I like the ones that use like a sweet pea protein mixture with it. But you can find what works for you. And then, yeah, throw in some green leafy vegetables and carrots and onions, and if you want to put a little garlic in there, if you can stand that, that's all good. But that's it. Beyond that, I snack like a great many other people do during the day, and I'm not what I was when I was 20 years ago, but I'm not complaining. I feel pretty good, and I'm performing pretty well. So I think too much emphasis is placed on a lot of these fad diets. If you want a good overall meal plan, though, look what Sally and Stephanie put together. They're experts at this. They've gone through it. You can see the results of their body as well. We're very similar. And I know that has a great deal to do with the Cellerciser. But if you're wanting to lose more weight and follow or change or alter your diet in a healthy way, see what Sally and Stephanie have to offer, and share it with other people. Like I said, we're in this as a family. We're here to help you get results. I want you to experience and enjoy the Cellerciser. Thank you for being a part of the Cellercise family. We do have a question.
I don't think I'll ever be able to actually jump on the Cellerciser. Will bouncing be enough to improve my overall health?
Oh yeah, I think okay. She doesn't think she'll ever be able to jump up and down on a Cellerciser. Will bouncing be enough to improve her health? When a baby first stands up in a crib, anywhere in the world, You see a baby hold onto that bar, and what does it do? It doesn't jump up and down off the mat. It stands there and it just starts to move up and down like this. This right here, I believe, is the most important physical activity we can do on a day-to-day basis for our overall health and fitness. Now, obviously we want to breathe too, but there's a lot we can do. This movement right here is wonderful, but so is this one. Now we're working the hips, the thighs, and the knees. So is this one. Now we're working the digestion, the elimination, the lower back, kidney, spleen, gallbladder, pancreas, adrenals. Those movements are the most important movements, I believe, that we can do on a Cellerciser. Beyond that, yeah, we can focus on getting other benefits because there's a lot of different approaches we can take on the Cellerciser. But yeah, virtually just about everybody can use it.
What is the best amount of time to activate body systems for the day, especially if you're short on time?
Yeah, if you can do it, I suggest, just that movement up and down was good. I suggest if you can do, it's this. 5 minutes is better than 3. 3 minutes is better than 1, and 1 minute is better than none at all. But if you can get on there and you can do about 3 to 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes of Cellercising with every cell expanding and contracting over 100 times a minute for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Think of it this way. If you took one part of your body and you applied 20 or 30% more weight on that muscle 100 times a minute for 3 solid minutes. Great exercise of that muscle. Now you got to do the other one. Well, with Cellercise, you don't. With Cellercise, you're doing that 20, 30, 40% more weight 100 times a minute on every single cell in your entire body.
Are there any specific vitamins that you take daily?
I need to take better vitamins. I think it's called Alive. It's a multivitamin that, I just take. I'm going to tell you right up front, I could improve upon my diet, no question. I do work hard to eat good live foods. Green drinks, I believe, are important. I do take green drinks. And I've got one more, which is critical. It's essential. Vitamins are vital, right? They're important. But you cannot use the vitamins, whether they're in produce or whether they're in nutritionals, if you don't have the communication devices the cells have to have at the enzymic level to be able to utilize those nutrients. And those communication devices are the electrolytes, ionic minerals. The minerals are the communication devices of the cell. That I'm working on right now. I've been taking an ionic mineral supplement for 30 years. I've been talking to the company that's been manufacturing it. It's a product that's been used by the ancient Indians for, who knows, hundreds of years. They don't know, but they understand the health benefits of these ionic minerals. This company has agreed to produce them for us. So I'm going to make those available to the Cellercise family very shortly. Also, I didn't bring it in. Okay, so, update. The wireless module for the Mr. Rebounder app, if we were to go here real quick to settings, we're going to go to our Bluetooth device, turn it on, and connect the Bluetooth device. Connected. Now we're going to go back to settings, go to a routine. We're going to pick a routine and we're going to start that routine. That little Bluetooth device, we're pre-selling them now. I'm giving the go-ahead to the board tomorrow morning. So we're going to have them working, for those who've already pre-ordered them, on Wednesday or Thursday this week. So that's on the app. You go over here, you pull it over, that little bar starts to count. Sorry, internet. It counts the number of beats. You can see it on the monitor here. And the number of calories that are burned on the Cellerciser. So, and the intensity. It'll show you the intensity as well. So that uses an accelerometer. It's not just a counter like our competition has counters, and it's not just a counter. We've got a patent filed on this because of how it measures deflection and allows us to create the algorithm to show you how many calories are being burned. So that's coming up this next week. The different movements on this Cellerciser, there's over 30 additional movements for people that are working with neck problems, shoulder issues, back issues. They want to strengthen their back, address the neck, address their shoulders, thighs and knees, and more. Those movements, there's over 30 of them, we've got the women's graphics done. We now have the men's graphics done. Last week we hadn't, or a couple weeks ago. And we're going to be testing that next week. So next week, hopefully I'll have we'll have to post it. We should hope to have the Mr. Rebounder app for all those who have been patiently waiting for those different resistance and muscle building movements. That should be available in 2 weeks. So thank you for your patience. Electronics and programming and things are a little over my head, but we're getting it done. Any other questions, Brooklyn?
Should you eat before or after Cellercise?
Should you eat before or after Cellercise? Probably after, because you're not going to be as hungry, number one, when you Cellercise, because your body's going to be utilizing a lot more of the blood sugars that are in the bloodstream anyway. And then when you go to eat, you probably won't eat as much. I've done it both ways though. You've also got a sphincter muscle here, and you don't want any indigestion. You put all that food in there and you're bouncing up and down, and it's hitting against that sphincter muscle. It doesn't seem to bother me, but it could bother other people. So from a health perspective, it's probably better to Cellercise first and then eat after it. Now, if you want to drink water, things like that, yes, you can drink water before. It helps move that fluid through your system as well. So that's good.
Do you have specific arm routines for developing your biceps and triceps, or just tensing your muscles?
Yeah, in fact, Stephanie and Sally shared a program that I very much agree with, and that's tighten the body up, tighten the whole body, buttocks, stomach. When you tighten that, that's an isometric for toning. And Bruce Lee used to do this in his martial arts. You tighten, but then you bounce. And when you're tightened and bounce, you're applying an increase of weight on those muscles that are already tight. And that's through the whole body, so it's pretty intense. Now you can isolate as well, and I do. So for building up the biceps, and many of you see me do this, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do that to the count of 20, and then switch arms and do the other one. You're working the front part of the arm. You're working everything, and that's just on that. You can work the chest, and those movements will be in the Mr. Rebounder app as well, so that you can put those routines together.
Will Cellercising help to increase oxygen levels in the body?
Oh yeah, yes it does. It does help to increase oxygen levels in the body. And there's some things you can do to help expedite that as well. That's opening up the bronchial tubes in the lungs. You hear my voice right now. Obviously I've been on the phone a lot today, and I can feel it, I can hear it in my voice. But so there's some stress and tension there. When I open up the bronchial tubes in the lungs, increase the oxygen to the other 1/3 of the lung that most people don't get enough oxygen to anyway, and that's very important. Then we start to increase the oxygen levels within the body as well. And there's certain things that we can do for that. Yeah. For example, the movement where you're breathing in and out, like I call it the power breathing. Well, that feels good. Okay, so that power breathing it opens everything up. It clears things out of your lungs. So if you've been exposed to chemicals or dust, you may be clearing your throat and your lungs a little bit. It loosens things up. People that have asthma, approach it carefully. Again, if you have a medical condition, I have to say consult with your doctor or health practitioner. But we've had some great customer reviews of people who have exercised their lungs. Cellercising, you just have to start off very gently because it's a literal exercise. And these lungs, unless you're doing a lot of long distance running or swimming or strenuous activities that cause you to exercise the lungs, they may be very sensitive when you first begin and wheezy. So you hear mine now, they're fairly open. After COVID, it took me about a month at least. In fact, they kept getting stronger again as I started working on developing my bronchial tubes and strengthening them again. I think this is definitely one of the top 5 routines that I've created on the Cellerciser that I think really makes a difference for people. But it's just, again, and when you first start to do it, you may sound a little wheezy, so that's okay.
Can Cellercise help with sciatica pain?
Sciatica. Yeah, there's a nerve that wraps around the back and the hip, this area. There's approaches that we take to help open up and support and strengthen this area. Wonderful techniques. We've had some wonderful results from people. Obviously, starting off with the gentle health bounce is the warm-up. It moves fluid. It's massaging the tissues, warming it up. Then after we've warmed it up for a minute or two, we can rock side to side. Now we're working the hips in the thighs and the lateral knee, both sides of the knee. As they get stronger and we feel better and they become more flexible, we're opening up and strengthening the supporting muscles and ligaments in the hip. Then we can start to do the twist. As we do the twist, now we're loosening up the muscles and the nerves and everything that kind of wrap around here. We start to loosen them up. And then after we've done this for a few minutes, we can keep our hips straight ahead, and we just work in the hip socket area. And that seems to be the key for a great many people that have that issue.
Is it possible to get the rug or mat that's under the Cellerciser?
The mat? Yeah. You know, let me know how many people might be interested, because it's a big expense to do those mats. Are awesome. This is a high quality, well-made mat. And I saw some cheap ones, but I don't do cheap. I can't. This one cost me over $800, but that was with all the, design work. I got them down to $500, and I said, that's still too much. So I can go back, I can check with them now, because prices seem to be going up, but this was more of a novelty item back then. Maybe there's more competition, maybe we can get it back down. I'll check. Anything else, Bricky?
I'm currently in physical therapy for my neck and back pain. My muscles are really tight. I've been doing the health bounce. What other exercises can I do?
Neck and back pain. This is a warm-up, and if you don't think this is effective, take your fingertips, put them up on the trapezius muscles, hold on to those muscles while you gently bounce up and down. You don't have to do much. This gentle movement, it's like a massage, but it's at the cellular level, not just the muscular level. This is huge. So as we loosen these muscles up and we're massaging them, and it's great, we can start to do other movements. And those movements can involve just simply dropping the shoulders up and down initially. See, this gentle movement where I'm dropping the shoulders is also creating stretch along the muscles of the neck. And if you're tight there, you're going to feel that. And this may be simply all you do to begin with. As you become more flexible, and Stephanie Sally showed some good movements on this, You can gently tilt your head, and that's working these muscles here. Gently tilt your head the other direction, and that's working these muscles. You can take your fingertips, and I've been a strong advocate of this for quite a long time. Put them around the vertebrae of the neck and gently do little circular movements. So you're pushing the circulation in between the vertebrae as you're moving the circulation up and down through the tissue. And those are some good beginning movements. We'll have other movements on the Rebounder App that you can use also. I want to talk just briefly again. ijumpinstead, they've got some great routines. And if you want to exercise with a couple beautiful women and who are very energetic and have a lot of good movements that they've adapted into their program, go visit their website. What they do is really good, but start off gently. Start off easy. Don't do some of the more advanced movements yet. If you want, and this serves a different purpose, if you want to be watching television, which is what we do in our home, basically, is then you can put the routine on your iPhone. You just watch it that way, and watch the television program. And that serves a beautiful purpose too. You've got over 30 pre-made routines that you can follow along with. And when it goes to the next movement, you're watching your show, it'll ding to let you know, okay, here's the next movement. So you see what the next movement is, and you continue to watch your show. We've got a surprise for kids coming up with that, so that we can help them become Cellercise potatoes every night for a while instead of couch potatoes. So that we can, and we'll be sharing that with all of the parents in a couple weeks. Anything else, Bricky? Thank you all. It's been a great program. I always enjoy having a chance to intermingle a little bit with you. Please share. I mean, we've got a lot of good programs that we've done over the last few years. If you find one that would be helpful to somebody that you know who might be dealing with some fitness challenges, whether it's weight loss or back problems or knee problems or hip problems or digestion, elimination issues, share stress issues, share the program with them. And if I can be of any help, feel free to give me a call. I'm on the phone all day long. I love working with you and helping you to achieve your greater health and fitness. That's my joy. That's why I do this. I want you to recognize that, hey, you've got a better health potential than most of us realize we all do. And let's see how far we can go toward getting to it. And of course, we want to make it fun. Exercise shouldn't be a chore. It should be something you can even incorporate into something else you already like to do. So I tell people, why work out? Let's play in, and we can do it together. Thank you. See you in a couple of weeks. Have a great week, and stay well.